CNN can report that the House Select Committee investigating the attack on the Capitol now has White House records that reveal details of a phone call Donald Trump made to Republican Congressman Jim Jordan on the morning of the insurrection.
Two sources who have reviewed the call records tell CNN that Trump spoke on a phone at the White House residence with Jordan for 10 minutes that morning. And that afternoon, Jordan took to the House floor to object to the certification of President Joe Biden's Electoral College win, and pro-Trump supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol. Let's bring in now CNN's Ryan Nobles. Ryan, what more can you tell us about this call?
Well, Victor and Allison, the communication that Jim Jordan had with Donald Trump on January 6th has long been of interest to not only the January 6th Select Committee, but others who have been investigating the events of that day. And for the first time, we can learn through these White House call records that were part of that information of documents that was part of the National Archives that was then transferred to the Select Committee, that there is entries on a call record that show that the former president asked to speak to Jim Jordan on the phone, and that the pair spoke for 10 minutes while Trump was in the White House on the morning of January 6th. Now, this is significant for a number of reasons. The first being that Jordan has been completely evasive as to his communication, how many times he spoke to the president, how long they spoke for, and what they even talked about. And he has contradicted himself numerous times as to the number of times that they spoke. For instance, this is what Jim Jordan said back in July about the conversations that he had with Donald Trump on January 6th. Take a listen.
I spoke with him on January 6th. I mean, I talk with President Trump all the time.
On January 6th, did you speak with him before, during, or after the Capitol was attacked?
I'd have to go. I spoke with him that day after. I think after. I don't know if I spoke with him in the morning or not. I just don't know. I'd have to go back and. I mean, I don't know that when those conversations happened.
Now, that's Jordan at that time saying he may have spoke with Trump in the morning, saying that he didn't recollect it. He was then asked this same series of questions during a meeting of the House Rules Committee a few months ago. And then Jordan said at that time he only remembered talking to Trump after the attack, and said that he didn't think that he talked to him before, and that he'd been very clear about that. Well, he's been anything but. And to add to all of this, our reporter Annie Grayer spoke with Jim Jordan today, informed him that we were made aware of these White House call records, and asked him to respond. And Jordan said that he, again, couldn't remember. And he said that the only time he specifically remembered talking to the president on that day was when he walked off the floor of the House of Representatives on January 6th. Well, keep in mind, he's never revealed that information before. So that is completely new and a different story than he's told in previous incarnations. He also told Annie today that he believes that he spoke to the former president a number of times on January 6th. So this is the first tangible evidence that we have of communication between Trump and Jordan on that day. Obviously, the committee is very interested in the content of that call, what they spoke about. That's one of the reasons that they want Jordan to appear before their committee. Jordan previously said that he had nothing to hide. He has since stonewalled the committee and said that he will not appear before them. Now, keep in mind, the committee does have the option of issuing subpoenas. They're wrestling with that decision right now because they fear that it may be difficult from a legal perspective to subpoena their own members of Congress to appear before them. So finding out this information, that is something that is very important to this committee, but it's clear that it will still be difficult to nail everything down that they're looking for. But this is a huge piece of that puzzle.